Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. This looks much better. By increasing the microphone intensity over here, we now have something that looks pretty good. So I'm going to stop.
This is the Comeau Show.
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do.
Comeau, asking all the right questions.
This looks much better. By increasing the microphone intensity over this looks much better.
How about the key players on your offensive line? Who's been really out there scoring goals?
By increasing the microphone intensity over this looks much better. By increasing the microphone intensity over by increasing the microphone intensity over by increasing the microphone intensity over here, we now have something that looks pretty good.
Welcome back to the Comeau Show. We have Mrs. Tampone Puzio, Assistant Principal of Academics, here with us today. I'm going to ask her a couple questions about just her life and here at Bergen Catholic. So first off, I know you were born in Italy and you moved to America. How was that transition coming over to a different country?
It was very difficult because I did not speak English, and I was 16 years old, and I left all my friends and family there. Even though my mom and dad and my brothers and sisters were moved over with me, everybody else was back in Italy. And it was difficult for a teenager to try to become acculturated with the new culture, try to learn the language and make new friends.
And did you learn English over here in America?
I did.
You didn't learn it back in Italy?
No, I did have English classes in Italy for a while, but I was not very successful. But when I moved to the United States, of course, then it was a sink or swim type of approach, and I think I swim.
Yeah, oh, that's great. And what year did you actually arrive to Bergen Catholic?
Bergen Catholic, my first year was 1987-88, September 87. And I was hired to be a part-time Italian teacher. I was teaching Italian 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, and I believe you were one of the first female faculty members here. How was that kind of whole experience with an all-boys Catholic school and everything? Was that?
We had about, I would say, maybe 4 female faculty members at that time that I was hired. It was not, the first year was a bit difficult, but then after that I got used to it, and I also improved as an educator, I think, and so I made a connection with the students, and I think I became a fairly good teacher, so I had a good relationship with all of my students.
Yeah. And did you actually know it was an all-boys Catholic school when you first came?
I actually did not, because I was in Italy and on vacation that summer after that I graduated college, and I was going to go to NYU for graduate school at nighttime. I was going for comparative literature, and I got this phone call from one of my professors at Seton Hall that had recommended me for the job, and I was hired by Mr. D'Orazio on the phone. While I was still in Italy.
Like first thing.
And I really didn't know what kind of school because I didn't have access to internet at that time in Italy. And I really didn't know what kind of school it was. I just knew that they needed an Italian teacher and it was a good school. And I came in.
So you just came in.
And I took it.
Perfect. And what was your first impression of Bergen Catholic when you first walked in and your first day there? What did you kind of think of the school?
I found it to be very welcoming. Mr. D'Orazio and Mrs. DeToro were the first 2 people that I met at Bergen Catholic, and they were very welcoming to me. And the students were not here yet. So when I came in September, of course, then I got to see the students, and the changing moment, I think, was in April. We went to Italy for the Easter break with the school. And I just went along as you know, not a student, but I went along on a trip, and I connected with a lot of the kids there. We went shopping because, of course, you know, I spoke Italian, so they wanted to hang out with me.
All together,
and I connected with them. So when I came back, my classes were much improved.
Yes, and you kind of got to know people, and everything was great. So I know you're one of the oldest women faculty member here. You've been here the longest. What's the different positions you've held over the years here at
Okay.
Bergen?
I have been, I'm a teacher. I consider myself a teacher first. That's
Yeah.
my first love. That's
Should be
what
a
I want
priority,
to do. That
yeah.
would be, unfortunately, this year is the first year that I'm not teaching a course. But, so I was an Italian and Spanish teacher for many years. Then I became world language chair for about 9 years. I also was a moderator of student government for several years. And then I was guidance for 4 years. I was
Oh.
a guidance counselor. I believe I was one of the first women guidance counselors
Really?
at Bergen Catholic.
That's a good
We had
experience.
special, we had the SAP counselors that were women, but not the regular guidance
Yeah.
counselors. It was a very good experience for
So
me.
you've been all around, you got a
Yeah,
taste of everything.
I've held many hats.
Yeah.
And I'm not the oldest faculty member. I'm the oldest,
One of the oldest women faculty.
right, oldest.
Yeah.
No,
Been here around the
only-
longest.
I wouldn't know anyway. I may look like I.
No. So what year did you actually meet Mr. Puzio?
I met him the first year I was teaching here, in 1987.
Oh, so he was here when you...
Yes, he was here. Mr. Puzzi has been in the school, I think, 34 years. I've been here 22 years.
Oh, cool.
So he had been teaching here for a while. And we met through Bergen Catholic, and then one of my colleagues at the time, Mr. Rhoda, Ken Rhoda, he was getting married. And we were both invited to the wedding, so we decided that we were going to drive together. And went there, and then...
Just hit off from there. Perfect.